Okay, before I forget, I just want to get all the details down. So I think I'm just about to do a Tachles. Let's do a Tachles in Tel Aviv. Yeah. Okay. It's Alyssa. It's been a while. I'm in New York City, and I need to tell you what just happened. I just got caught in the blackout of 2019. I went to visit some friends in Brooklyn, and I never do things like this. I had the most amazing day. I met my friends' adorable triplets. I met his amazing wife, and I was on, like, it was surreal. I was in this amazing block party, and they opened the hydrant. I mean, it was like New York to the T. It was awesome. Maybe I overstayed my stay. I don't know. I get on the subway. It goes one stop. It stops, and I guess I was just so tired, I fell sound asleep. And then something happened where it got very hot, and I woke up. I think it was like a half an hour later, and the train had not moved. And it was very odd. And we were there for quite a long time. I'm trying to think if it was the first train. So it came immediately. It was great. And then I sit down, and there was this guy that was like, he was kind of cute, like a blondie guy, and he was sleeping with his legs open. He was just like not easy to, like, he wouldn't give anybody any space. Anyway, one thing led to another, and by the time I woke up, he was sitting next to me, and then there was someone else. I don't know, it was so hot. It was like 45 minutes, and the doors were open, and I mean, it was just so hot. And they keep saying that there's a train in front of us, there's a train in front of us, there's a train in front of us. So then they would move the train. Then I mean, I had no idea what was going on. I think we went another stop, and I don't know. I think I fell asleep again, and the next thing I knew, there was a man standing over me screaming at me, "Manhattan, move! Manhattan! Manhattan, move! Manhattan, you gotta move, move, move!" And he was like in my face. I was like, okay. And I'm like, I make myself tiny, 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 and I'm just sitting there with, I wear glasses to hide myself because I've had a bad experience before in the subway. And he's just like, "Manhattan, move, move!" And he's just standing over me, and he won't stop. And I'm like, to the guy that wouldn't move when I came on, I was like, just move over. Can you just move a little bit, please? And I just don't know what to do. And everybody's looking at me, and I was like, and he's just screaming. And this guy turns around, and he goes, "Leave her alone." And I was just like, I touched his arm. I'm like, no, don't. He's like, and he just kind of assured me it was okay. And the guy was just like, "Manhattan," he just goes, "Move, move, Manhattan." And anyway, finally, I guess the guy yelled at him again, and he moved away. And somebody else moved, and the next thing I knew, the drunk was right next to me. And I was like, but there was nowhere to go. We were like now in a closed subway car. It was just like, it was terrible. And the guy next to me gets up, it's like, "Go." And he sits next to me and the drunk, okay? And we're just sitting there, and eventually I break into a conversation with him. It is the weirdest feeling I get. First of all, hot. He had a wedding ring. He had come from Rockaway. I know I put his name somewhere because he was so unbelievable. I actually think he was gay and married. I don't know. I just got that feeling. If not, I'm wrong. Anyway, whoever is his husband or wife or whatever, I mean, such a gentleman, such a prince. We had this big conversation, and he was just like, "It's all cool." And I was just like, that is so crazy. So he gets off. He's like, "Listen, I have to leave you." It was at 14th Street. And I was like, all right. No, maybe. I don't know. We were down in the village. I don't even remember. It was so weird what was going on. And I just kept going in and out of sleep. And it was just like it was just so hot, and the car was opening and closing. And he's like, I'm going to go now. And I'm like, okay. So now it was the drunk and me and the next guy. And he had been through the whole thing. And he's like, I was like, I didn't know what to do. And the drunk was like getting closer and closer. It was just so creepy. I looked at him a few times. He just looked at me and he goes, and he pushes me to the corner and he sat right there. And I mean, he was a Spanish guy, I think. And I say it because, I just really saw like just I was in awe of humanity and kindness across the board. All right, you got this crazy drunk, and then the drug girl who was like falling all over everybody, she fell on the drunk, and then the guy yelled, he's like, "You get up from your seat, and you don't treat people badly." It was fascinating. He trained the drunk. The druggie, she just was falling all over the place. There we are on the train. I know this is really long, but it was so insane. I've been underground for more than 2 hours. After that, somehow I realized that at one point that there would be a chance if there was problems on that train. I didn't know what the problem was, that I would jump to the express on the 2. I was in the E line. So then I thought, I'll just, maybe here there's like some sort of line to the Upper West Side. So I jumped on an express, and there was this like mommy with a baby, and I sat down. She moved the stroller a bit, and I was like, oh, thank you. And I saw the most adorable it was just little baby doll. And we were sitting on the train, and it started moving, and we were confused at the stop because we all thought we were on express. And the next thing we knew, the train turned into a local, and everybody got really confused. We didn't know what was going on. And that's when I think I have no internet. I had no data on my phone, but I didn't even think of checking anything. And that's when I realized that something was off. I think I saw somebody had a blackout. And then I was like, where is the blackout? There's a blackout? What's the black? It was so bizarre. Nobody knew what was going on. And the next thing I knew, the girl next to me. Now at this point, I don't know how much time it was. It was a long time, but the baby got really upset, and they tried everything. And I didn't know whatever. They were such lovely mommies, and we just saw them just really going, "Hey girl," to this little baby. And I was like, listen, I don't know, should we try? I have some dried fruit. I have just mangoes. There's no sugar. TJ's, Trader Joe's. I was like, maybe she'll gnaw on it. And she's like, no, she won't eat it. It's too sweet for her. I'm like, there's no sugar. I pull it out, and I was like let's try. And this little baby, Olivia. That was the baby's name, Olivia. Shout out to Olivia and her moms and it was her godmother and the 2 little boys. They were so uncomfortable, and the mommy kept going, "I'll roll a towel for you." Anyway, eventually we went onto the phone, and the girl was listening to ABC News, and then they said this thing over the speaker. They said, we're about to head into a blackout, and so we don't know when it's going to happen, and you can get off the train now or go deeper in, and you might get a blackout. But we didn't really hear that. It was a very weird message, and it said like then the train will go in a different direction, and we were just like, what is going on? Like it didn't just say there is a blackout, get off the train. It was this thing of like a gamble. So so then the next stop, and then we were like, they would take us to the next stop, and you would just wait, and it was so hot. And you wait and you wait and you wait. And we're just trying to, keep the baby entertained. And me, I'm so happy. I love babies. So thank God that was there to distract me. These bangs, I'm so hot. I melted. And then, anyway, when I heard the news and I realized there was a blackout in Manhattan, I said to the mommies, ladies, it's time to get off this train. Like I want to help you. I want to help you get to the street. I want to help you get to the next place. And they were like, no. And I'm like, listen, there's a blackout. You don't know where or when, but we're in the Upper West Side and we're heading into it. And we need to get off this train. And it's just a matter of time when it will hit. But before that, I was just wanted to go to the J-Lo concert, and I kept debating. I'm like, at what point was I going to get off? I'm like, I've had a hell of a day. I'm going to the J-Lo concert. Well, anyway, the J-Lo concert, she had to stop it in the middle of it. And I saw all the people from the J-Lo concert because everybody was out afterwards in the dark with no traffic lights. And I don't remember, was it 23rd or 28th that I got off? And I was just like, ladies, please come with me. I beg of you. Let's come on. We'll get the kids. I'll help you. They're like, no. And I was just like, I'm going to have to let you go. So I'm going to go. So they're like, cool, bye, see you later. And I left. And all I could think of is that I didn't leave them with the Just Mangoes because those girls got into a blackout. That train was in the dark. And I don't know what they were going to do at that point. So I walk down the street, and I don't really understand what's going on, and it's a little weird, the vibe, but also I'm like tired of being underground for so many hours. So I walk in this bakery, and I said, hi, I've been in the blackout, and can I just use your bathroom? And they were just like, looking at me like, is she homeless? Is she losing her mind? What do you mean blackout? She's crazy. I go in the bathroom and I hear them going, oh man, this is blackout. It's like, oh God, this is blackout. And I was like, get myself together, I walk out of the bathroom. I'm like, you didn't believe me, but I want to thank you. I know you thought I was completely crazy, but that was insane. And I proceed to go to the bus stop, thinking I'll go all the way west, I'll go to the bus stop, because at this point we were just told that it was like the area of 59th Street had a blackout, so I thought I'd go away from it. So I'm standing there, I'm not, I'm sitting. As I told, I'm done, I'm so tired, I have this heavy camera on my back, and I don't usually shoot, so whatever. Anyway, I'm like sitting there looking, and I'm like, talking to people. I'm like, when was the last bus? Is there a bus? They're like, yeah, it was packed. I look up, it's black. And there's just tons and tons and tons and tons of cars like going up 8th Avenue. And I'm like, there's no bus. You're going to be here all night long. So I'm looking, I'm like, wait, there's taxis. I could take a taxi. Yeah. So I taxi passes and I see one and I jump over. I'm like, you're going to the Upper West Side. It's like, I'm going to Harlem. I tried to negotiate one other woman. So I go to the taxi and there's this guy, there's two guys, and the guy comes out of the car and he just goes, give me $5. I was like, what do you mean give me $5? Give me $5. I was like, for what? He's like, the seat. And I'm like, well, are you taking it? And he's just like, no, if you give me $5, I'll give you the seat to the taxi. I was like, what? He's like, give me $5. And okay, give me $2. And then I'll give you the seat to the taxi. And I'm looking, and I look at the guy, I'm like, do you want this guy in your taxi? Because what's going on? And I'm like, go, get out of the way. I'm like, I jumped in the taxi. I get in the taxi. We start going. I'm like, hi, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. Thank you so much. Da, da, da. Okay. We should get to the West Side Highway. Do you think we should get to the West Side Highway? Should we tell the driver and talk to the driver about getting to the West Side Highway? Let's go all the way west to the West Side Highway. Okay. So we decide to go toward the West Side Highway. We go up. We make a turn. And all the vehicles, like the firemen, they just stop. They get out of the truck. There's nowhere to go. And we're just sitting there, and the meter is ticking away, and we're stuck on the street. But there was nowhere to go. People everywhere. It was black. There was like... But nobody was like kooky or crazy. People were getting... They were directing traffic. I have a video of it all. There was a guy like directing traffic, and then there were these guys sitting there. I was just like, what happened? And they were all with hard hats, and they were like, we're electricians. And I'm like, did you do it? They're like, no, we're just enjoying this, he said. And they're smoking cigars and just like hanging out. It was so crazy. And I kept opening the window and talking to people along the way. I think the guy, his name was Amaya. He was like, thought I was just some crazy character. And Mamabu, he was very nice. He had to cross so many streets without any traffic lights. And then we all agreed, yeah, let's go to, so So they finally moved. I was like, I'm getting out of the car. I'm gonna go see if these like vehicles will move. And I look out. I'm like, okay, fire truck's moving. Everybody's moving. So we start going. But like, it was like you had to cross. It was crazy. No one knew how to cross the streets, but they did it. They did it. I don't know if there was violence. I mean, that guy tried to scalp a ticket to the seat of the taxi. That was about it. Anyway, we finally get to the West Side Highway. And I thought that would be great because the lights will be easier. It won't be street by street. It'll be easier. But it was Wild West. Like Wild West with emergency vehicles. It was so scary. It was just black. And we were just like cars. Nobody knew come, go. It was so scary. And then it was like, we were doing this for a while and we're talking like, God, I'm thinking, am I going to I have blisters all over my feet. My shoes were all like ripping my feet up. And and then I hear him in the front seat go, there's lights. I'm like, wait, there's lights? Yeah. So all of a sudden we had traffic lights. That's the first thing that must happen in a city is the traffic lights. Residential, it doesn't matter, but the chaos starts when there's no traffic lights and there's no way to direct the masses because the police weren't directing it. It was all people, civilians were directing things. And yeah, and then eventually we like broke through and we drove up the West Side Highway and it was amazing and it was black. It was black. Trump Towers, black. There's Trump buildings. I don't know what they're called. And yeah, and I gave the guy like $20. He's just like, no, you gave me too much. I said, listen, give that man that drove us through this madness, give him a good tip. And it's nothing considering, what other people might have been through. So, yes. I am a survivor of the 2019 New York City blackout.